Stop everything you're doing, because what just happened at WWE Saturday Night's main event is exactly what's wrong with modern wrestling. Dominik Mysterio, a wrestler who's been carried by his last name in the Judgment Day since day one, just retained the Intercontinental Championship against two certified legends in Penta and Rusev through the most disgraceful series of interference and cheap tactics I've seen in years. While genuine masters of the craft put their bodies on the line, while real veterans showed what championship wrestling should look like, WWE protected their chosen golden boy with every trick in the book. And if you think this is acceptable, if you think Dominik deserves to walk around with that prestigious title, then you need to understand why thousands of fans walked out of that arena feeling cheated. Because this wasn't a wrestling match, this was character assassination of two legends for the sake of protecting someone who hasn't earned the right to shine their boots. Let me break down exactly why this result is an insult to wrestling history. The night started with so much promise. Saturday night's main event, WWE's tribute to the legendary Saturday Night Wrestling shows of the past, was stacked with incredible talent. When the Intercontinental Championship triple threat was announced, fans were electric with anticipation. This was going to be special. This was going to be the match that reminded everyone why the IC title is called the Workhorse Championship. Penta's entrance was absolutely incredible. The arena went dark. The Lucha Legends music hit and the crowd erupted. Here's a man who's conquered CMLL. A man who became a legend in Lucha Underground. A man who helped build All Elite Wrestling. A wrestler whose mask is recognized around the world. Penta walked to that ring with the confidence of someone who's earned everything he's achieved. No silver spoon. No famous father. Just pure talent and decades of grinding. Then Rusev's music hit and the building became unglued. Rusev Day. Rusev Day. Rusev Day. The chants echoed through every corner of the arena. The Bulgarian brute looking absolutely jacked. Looking like a Terminator on a mission. This is a former United States champion. A man who should have been WWE champion years ago if WWE knew how to book talent properly. Rusev has the look, the charisma, the in-ring ability, and most importantly, the respect of every wrestler in that locker room. And then, Dominik Mysterio's music played. Instantly, the energy shifted. Boos cascaded from the rafters like an avalanche. Dominik strutted out with the Intercontinental Championship, a title he's tarnished with every defense, flanked by his Judgment Day bodyguards like he's the president of a small country. Rhea Ripley, Finn Balor, Damian Priest, and JD McDonough all walked into the ring. For people to protect one champion, that should tell you everything about Dominik's legitimacy. Drop your thoughts right now in the comments. When did the Intercontinental Championship become a participation trophy instead of a symbol of excellence? The opening bell rang and immediately the difference in skill level was painfully obvious. Penta hit Dominik with a lightning-fast arm drag that sent Dirty Dom spinning across the ring like a top. Before Dominik could even process what happened, Rusev steamrolled him with a shoulder tackle that looked like it broke several ribs. Dominik rolled out of the ring in the first minute, already looking for an escape. But Penta and Rusev weren't having it. They followed Dominik outside and the real match began. Penta's lucha style against Rusev's Bulgarian brutality created this beautiful contrast. Penta would hit a tilt-a-whirl head scissors. Rusev would respond with a devastating spinning heel kick. These two were putting on a clinic while Dominik was being protected by Judgment Day on the outside. Every time Penta or Rusev got close to Dominik, Finn or Priest would step in the way. Rhea was literally shielding Dominik with her body. This is pathetic. This is a champion who can't even take a punch without his friends protecting him. The referee kept warning Judgment Day to back off, but they knew WWE wasn't going to disqualify Dominik and cost them that heel heat. Back in the ring, Penta and Rusev delivered 15 minutes of absolute brilliance. Penta hit his signature Penta driver on Rusev and went for the cover. This could be it. New champion. 1, 2, Finn Balor jumped on the apron. The referee had to stop counting to deal with Finn's interference. Classic Judgment Day tactics. They can't let anyone pin anyone because their golden boy might lose. Penta was furious. He got in Finn's face, shouting in Spanish. And while the referee was distracted with that confrontation, Rhea Ripley slid a chair into the ring. The crowd was screaming warnings. Rusev saw the chair and picked it up. The crowd was begging him to use it. But Rusev is a professional. He's a veteran who respects the business. He hesitated. And that's when Dominik struck like the snake he is. Dominik grabbed the chair from Rusev's hands and smashed it across Rusev's back. The sound echoed like a gunshot. Rusev collapsed. Dominik quickly kicked the chair out of the ring before the referee turned around. The referee saw Rusev down but had no idea what happened. This is textbook Dominik Mysterio wrestling. Cheat when no one's looking. Let your friends do the dirty work. Take credit for victories you didn't earn. Second question for the comments: how many clean victories has Dominik Mysterio had in his entire career? I'll wait for your answers. Penta saw what happened and went ballistic. He charged at Dominik with a sling blade that nearly took Dominik's head off. Dominik was out. Penta climbed to the top rope. The crowd was on their feet. This was Penta's moment. He launched himself for a double stomp, but JD McDonagh grabbed Penta's leg from outside. Penta's balance was thrown off. He crashed hard onto the canvas. The referee finally had enough. He ejected JD McDonagh from ringside. The crowd popped, but the damage was done. Penta was hurt. Rusev was hurt. And Dominik was in the corner, recovering, being coached by Rhea through the ropes on exactly what to do next because he doesn't have the ring IQ to figure it out himself. Rusev started to recover. The Bulgarian brute pulled himself up using the ropes. His eyes locked on Dominik with pure rage. Rusev charged and hit Dominik with a series of brutal corner splashes. Each impact shook the entire ring. Dominik was gasping for air. Rusev pulled Dominik to the center of the ring and positioned him for the accolade. The crowd was losing their minds. Rusev Day. Rusev Day. Rusev Day. This was it. The submission hold that has made countless superstars tap out. Rusev was about to become the new Intercontinental Champion, but before he could lock it in fully, Finn and Priest hit the ring. Not subtle interference, blatant assault. Both men started stomping Rusev while he still had Dominik in the accolade. The referee called for the bell. Finally, disqualification. Dominik was going to lose the title. But wait, Triple H's music hit. The chief content officer walked out with a microphone. The crowd thought justice was about to be served. Hunter looked pissed. He got on the mic and said, if Judgment Day interferes one more time, Dominik loses the title. The arena erupted. But here's my question, why wasn't that the rule from the start? Why did it take multiple interferences before management stepped in? This is WWE protecting Dominik. They let Judgment Day soften up both opponents for 10 minutes before threatening consequences. It's rigged from the beginning. The match restarted. All three men were exhausted. But Penta and Rusev dug deep. These veterans started trading bombs. Penta hit a Canadian destroyer on Rusev that had the entire arena gasping. The rotation was perfect. Rusev crashed on his head and neck. Penta went for the cover. 1, 2, Rusev kicked out. What heart! What determination! Rusev got to his feet and caught Penta with a Machka kick that echoed throughout the building. Penta went down hard. Rusev turned his attention to Dominik, who was cowering in the corner like the coward he is. Rusev grabbed Dominik and lifted him for a military press. He was going to launch Dominik out of the ring, but Dominik raked Rusev's eyes. Another dirty tactic. The referee didn't see it because he was checking on Penta. Dominik hit the ropes and delivered a 619, his father's move that he's stolen. The 619 connected and Rusev got caught on the middle rope. Dominik climbed to the top rope for the frog splash, another move stolen from Rey Mysterio. The crowd was booing mercilessly. Dominik launched himself and missed. Rusev moved at the last second. Dominik crashed hard on the mat. Third question, comment below, is it disrespectful that Dominik uses his father's moves, or is it paying tribute? Because I have opinions. Penta recovered and saw both men down. This was his opportunity. Penta grabbed Dominik and hoisted him up for the fear factor. That devastating package piledriver that has ended countless matches. Penta dropped Dominik on his head. The impact was sickening. Dominik was done. Penta hooked both legs. New champion. 1, 2. Rhea Ripley pulled the referee out of the ring. The referee's head bounced off the floor. He was out cold. Rhea had just assaulted a WWE official. Where's the disqualification? Where's the justice? But there was no backup referee. The match continued in chaos. Finn and Priest started to enter the ring, but security flooded from backstage. Triple H had apparently sent reinforcements. Security escorted Judgment Day to the back. Finally, it was going to be a fair fight. Just three men. Just wrestling. But the damage was done. With the referee unconscious, Penta's winning cover meant nothing. Rusev was recovering. All three men were in the ring. A new referee sprinted down the ramp. As he slid in, Dominik grabbed Penta and rolled him up with a handful of tights. The referee didn't see it. 1, 2, 3. The bell rang. The announcement, here is your winner and still Intercontinental Champion, Dominik Mysterio. The crowd erupted in nuclear heat. Trash littered the ring. Fans were screaming in protest. Dominik had stolen another victory through cheating and outside interference. Dominik grabbed his title and ran up the ramp. He didn't celebrate in the ring. He didn't acknowledge his opponents. He fled like the thief he is. Meanwhile, Penta and Rusev were in the ring, both men furious. Both men robbed of championship glory. The referee raised Dominik's hand at the top of the ramp while fans threw debris. Let me break down what we actually witnessed tonight. In a fair match, one-on-one with no interference, Dominik Mysterio loses to either Penta or Rusev every single time. Dominik's entire championship reign has been built on interference, cheating, and the protection of Judgment Day. Remove those elements and he's exposed as a mid-card talent playing dress-up. Penta is a legend. A man who's wrestled in the biggest promotions on 4 continents. A man whose matches in AAA and Lucha Underground are studied by wrestling students worldwide. A man who can work any style, lucha, strong style, technical, hardcore. Penta's forgotten more about wrestling than Dominik will ever learn. Rusev is a former champion. A man who was so over with the fans that WWE had to intentionally bury him because he was getting more popular than their chosen stars. Rusev Day was the most organic fan movement in years. Rusev has main event potential written all over him, but WWE has never pulled the trigger because he doesn't fit their corporate vision. And Dominik? Dominik is the son of a legend. That's his qualification. That's his entire resume. Father is Rey Mysterio, that's it. He hasn't earned anything on his own merits. Every opportunity he's received has been because of his last name. Every championship reign has been protected by outside forces. He's the ultimate example of nepotism in professional wrestling. Here's what makes this so frustrating for longtime fans. The Intercontinental Championship has a storied history. Randy Savage, Ricky Steamboat, Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels, Stone Cold, The Rock, Chris Jericho, Edge, Eddie Guerrero. These legends held that title and made it matter. They elevated it through incredible matches and memorable moments. And now, the Intercontinental Championship is a prop for Dominik Mysterio. A title he waves around while Judgment Day does all the actual work. Every defense is the same. Dominik gets dominated for 80% of the match. Judgment Day interferes. Dominik steals a victory through roll-up or distraction. It's predictable. It's boring. And it's insulting to everyone who's ever held that championship. WWE keeps booking this because they think Dominik generates heat. But there's a difference between heel heat and go-away heat. Heel heat makes people want to see the villain get their comeuppance. Go-away heat makes people change the channel. Dominik is rapidly approaching go-away heat territory because fans are tired of the same formula. And let's address the elephant in the room. Why is WWE so invested in protecting Dominik? Is it because of his father's legacy? Is it because Judgment Day needs a champion to legitimize them? Is it because WWE is terrified of what happens when Dominik loses the title and gets exposed as not ready for this level? My theory? WWE has invested so much time in Dominik's push that they can't afford to pull back now. They've painted themselves into a corner. If Dominik loses the title, it admits that the push was premature. It admits that nepotism doesn't equal talent. So they double down. They keep protecting him. They keep having Judgment Day interfere. They keep hoping that eventually, Dominik will grow into the role. But here's the problem, Dominik isn't growing. He's been wrestling for years now and his matches still follow the same formula. He hasn't developed new moves. He hasn't improved his psychology. He's just doing the same spots his father did, but worse. There's no evolution, no progression, just the same mid-card wrestler wearing a championship he doesn't deserve. Think about the missed opportunities. If Penta had won, imagine the dream matches.